Here is a visual diagram showing how the front-end, back-end, and database components interact in a typical web application. Here's a detailed explanation of the components of a web application: front-end, back-end, and database, including how they work together. Number 1, front-end, client-side. What is it? The front-end is the part of the application that users interact with directly. It runs in the web browser and includes all the visual elements, such as buttons, forms, pages, and styles. Technologies used: HTML, structure of the page; CSS, styling and layout; JavaScript, interactivity and logic; frameworks, libraries, optional but common; React, Vue, or Angular; Bootstrap, Tailwind, CSS for styling. Role in a web app: displays content and interface, sends requests to backend, e.g. to get data or submit a form, updates UI dynamically based on user actions or responses. Example: on an e-commerce site, the front end shows the product listings, handles filtering, and allows you to add products to your cart. Number 2, backend, server-side. What is it? The backend is the part of the application that runs on a server and handles business logic, authentication, authorization, and communication with the database. It processes requests from the front end and returns responses. Technologies used: languages: JavaScript, Node.js, Python, Django, Flask, Java Spring, PHP, Ruby, etc. Frameworks: Express.js, Django, Laravel, etc. APIs: RESTful APIs, GraphQL, WebSockets. Role in a web app: receives front-end requests, e.g. login, fetch data; validates and processes data; connects to the database to read-write data; sends data back to the front end. Example: if you log into a site, the backend checks your credentials, creates a session token, and responds with authentication status. 3. Database. What is it? The database is used to store, organize, and retrieve data for the application. It keeps all the persistent data, such as user accounts, posts, products, transactions, etc. Types of databases: relational SQL, structured and table-based. Examples: MySQL, PostgreSQLite. Non-relational, NoSQL, flexible schemas, document or key value-based. Examples: MongoDB, Firebase, Redis. Role in a web app: stores data for long-term use, allows querying, inserting, updating, and deleting data. Works with backend to serve or save data. Example: when you register on a website, your name, email, back, and password hash are stored in the database. Hack how they work together. Flow example: you can see the code in our conversation history. Step by step. 1. User fills out a form on the front end, e.g. create account. 2. Front end sends the form data to the back end via an HTTP post request. 3. Backend validates the data and sends a query to the database to store it. 4. Database saves the data and sends a success message back to the backend. 5. Backend sends a response, e.g. account created, back to the front end. 6. Frontend updates the UI, e.g. redirects to login page. Summary table: component, role, technologies, bound 10. Frontend, user interface and interactivity, HTML, CSS, JavaScript, React, etc. Backend, logic, authentication, API handling, Node.js, Express, Django, etc. Database, data storage and retrieval, MongoDB, MySQL, PostgreSQL, etc. Here is a visual diagram showing how the front-end, back-end, and database components interact in a typical web application. Here's a detailed explanation of the components of a web application: front-end, back-end, and database, including how they work together.